Rocky Turf Talk is proudly brought to you by Cocobrew.
Hello punters and welcome to the Cocobrew Rocky Turf Talk for Callaghan Park Racing Saturday, March 18. The Welburn family have been involved in the racing industry here in central Queensland since the mid-1900s. Wally Welburn is one of them. He rode in excess of 1,300 winners. He won 13 premierships here in Rockhampton as a jockey. He is the Cocobrew Award winner for the month of February, and it was an absolute honour to catch up with Wally earlier today. Wally, the Welburn name is a household name of racing here in central Queensland, but personally, when did your interest first come about in racing?
Well, my first interest come about in racing was my father, and that he was down in Brisbane, and he rode the Doomben 10,000 winner, run 2 Queensland Cup winners, and went over to Hong Kong, and he rode the Railway Stakes winners. They call it the Railway Stakes at the moment, sort of thing. Rode the winner over there.
You started your riding career as an apprentice under the late Reg Coombs. Fair to say, apprentices done a little bit tougher back in those days to what they do in the modern era.
We've done a little bit tougher, but in the modern era sort of thing, they've got these 3 or 4 race meetings a week, and the jockeys are a little bit more under pressure than what we were, sort of thing, and it more or less evens out, sort of thing, mate.
Countless rides. You rode in excess of 1,300 winners. How many Rockhampton premierships did you win?
I won 13 premierships here, and over the years, and the jockey club, this place has been very, very good to me, and the owners are always giving me a fair go, sort of thing, and they're always stuck by me.
Wally, you reported the name of Wally the Whip for obvious reasons. How do you think you would fare under the adjudicators of racing here in the modern era?
Well, under the adjudications of racing now, I think I'll be paying them before I even got on a horse, because I knew it was going to happen, sort of thing. I was very vigorous in the finish of a race.
A couple of the best horses that you've ridden?
A couple of the best horses I ever rode was a horse, King Piper, owned by the old family. Bamako was owned by the White family, trained by Clem Jackson, and another horse that comes to mind, it was trained by Donnie Forsyth, owned by Don Tombolt, a little horse called Some Like It Hot.
Opponents, best jockeys that you rode against?
Best jockeys I rode against was likes of Mick Dittman and Kenny Russell, and I had a lot of respect for Shane Scriven. I reckon he's a very good rider.
What about our local riding talent?
Local riding talent, we had the likes of Gary Evans, we had my brother Vivi, we had Lloydie Brazier, we had Mark Unwin, we had Russell O'Mara, we had Morris Stafford, all good riders. They all could have went anywhere in Australia and made it.
Wally, you've seen a lot of changes here at Callaghan Park. No bigger change than in 1984 when we went from the sand surface to a grass track.
In 1984 we went from the sand track to the grass track, and we had 2 courses. We had the short course, we had the long course. We had the short course for the sprinters, and the long course for more or less distance horses getting ready for the cups and everything like that, as it was up and coming long races. And the long course was I love riding on the long course.
That's what we've got now, a 600 metre straight, nearly the same length as Flemington, and you had a lot of success, and you, reiterating what you said, you really enjoyed riding on the long straight.
I enjoyed riding on the long straight because you could turn for home and you could more or less position yourself where you want to be in the finish, because you had time to think about it and put your horse in a position, and you didn't have to go too early, and you always wanted to put your horse in the best position to win the race.
Major change in the riding ranks. There's more from the fair agenda this day and age.
A lot more from the fair agenda, because the gentlemen are getting a bit heavier, a bit taller, heavier boned. With the fair agenda, they're a lot smaller, they're a lot lighter and boned and everything like that, and their weight's all right. And I reckon the likes of young apprentices like Talia Fallon and all those jockeys and that, they're up and coming riders, and they're going to make the grade. They will make the grade. Jamie
Carr's doing a terrific job at present.
Jamie Carr's doing a very good job. She's put the racing for the ladies back on track, sort of thing, hey, because it did drop off there for a little while. But there's a lot of good lady riders around.
Pioneer in the ladies riding ranks back in your day, no doubt, was Pam O'Neill.
Back in my day, Pam O'Neill, I had a lot of respect for Pam O'Neill, and she more or less kicked it off for the ladies in Queensland, and she's a very, very nice person. She's a very good bloody pioneer for racing for the women here, and I had a lot of respect for her.
You still craft your trade as a work rider, early morning track work at Callaghan Park these days, and you also work on race day for the Rockhampton Jockey Club.
I still ride over the track work. I still go over there and ride about 9 horses work of a morning. It keeps me fit and keeps me mind and keeps me motivated. And I also got a job over there for the Rockhampton Jockey Club, which I appreciate very much.
Do a lot of work for the John Wigington stable. The horse that comes to mind is In Evidence. He's a last start winner at Mackay. He goes around at Doomben on Saturday in the cutest dual race 7.
Yeah, well, he qualified for the race up with Mackay sort of thing, and he's drawn to Alley. Ryan Wiggins on board. Ryan knows the horse. He's going to put his best foot forward. He's just a little bit tired. He's coming to the end of his career. Not his career, but he's come to the end of his training preparation, and I reckon he's going to be an up-and-coming young horse down the track. There's a good cup horse later on down the track.
Well, Wally, we could talk all day, but all good things must come to an end. Congratulations on a stellar career. Congratulations for being the Cocobrew Racing Participant recipient for the month of February. And thanks for joining us on Rocky Turf Talk today.
Well, I'd like to thank Rocky Turf Talk and Cocobrew for this award, and I reckon it's very much appreciated. Thanks very much, because it gives you then the background of people that are in the background sort of thing, that in the racing game.
Hi, this is John Tapp, and when you're in Rockhampton for the races, Cocobrew is your one-stop shop. With a wide range of craft beers and cocktails, the restaurant has a succulent menu and the best steaks in town. The boardroom and whiskey lounge will cater for your private function. Accommodation, they've got you covered with boutique apartments on site at a 4.5-star rating. And for coffee and food on the run, head straight to Cocobrew Express. When next in town, let the crew from Cocobrew look after you.
Selections race 1, the ratings band 0 to 55, handicap over 1500 metres. Here are like the 9, Mistaken Identity. She's had the 3 runs back from a break, this girl. I do think she'll appreciate the step up to the 1500, and I do think she'll be winning. And Justin Stanley does the riding for the Grey and Green stable. Danger number 1, Native B. Third best 2, Lyrical Lover, 912, numbers race 1. Then to race 2, the open handicap over 1100 metres, like the 5 here, Age of Innocence. She's won it past 3 straight. I do think she'll make it 4, and Talia Penland has the reins for the Nick Walsh yard. Second selection, the stablemate number 2, Villabella Cooler. Third selection, 1, Plenty, 521, numbers race 2. Then to the third, the 2-year-old Cutest handicap over 1200 metres, like the 2 here, Acres Away. He's a last start winner at Orally and Mackay, but he replicates what he did in the Sugar City last start. I do think he'll go back to back, and Stanley and Smith combine. Danger number 1, Shemetti. Third best 4, Parapark Chance, 214, numbers race 3. Then to race 4, this starts the quaddie, the benchmark 70 handicap over the mile, like the 4 here, Fresh Prince. He was a winner 2 back, comes off a last start third at the Glitter City at the Gold Coast. Do you think he'll return to the winner's stall here? And Stanley and Wheeler are in the corner of Fresh Prince. Second selection, the stablemate number 2, Lewis January. Third selection 1, Way Beyond, 421, numbers race 4. Then to race 5, the 3-year-old Cutest handicap over 1200 metres, like the filly here from the Sunshine Coast, number 2, Noted. She was winner on a home track 2 starts ago. Do you think she'll return to the winner's stall here? And Stanley does the riding for the Birchley yard. Danger number 7, Top Spy. Third best 4, City Mission, 274, numbers race 5. Then to race 6, the maiden handicap over 1200 metres, like the 3 here, Kairos, a former Kiwi. Looked very sharp in winning a recent Callaghan Park barrier trial. He brings that trial form to the races. I do think he'll break through for his maiden win, and Stanley does the riding for the McConaughey stable. Second selection, number 1, Yan Doobie. Third selection, 9, Sensationable, 319, numbers race 6. Then to the close of race 7, the 0 to 55 ratings band handicap over 1100 metres. Here are like the toppy, a frog in a sock. He was a winner here at Callaghan Park, 2 back, comes off a last start second, beyond the Very Smart Real Statement. Do think it'll go 1 better than this, and Butler does the riding for the Coombe stable. Danger number 6, Sweet Ways. Third best 8, Saw That Coming, 168, numbers race 7. Best bet on the program comes up in race 1, horse number 9, Mistaken Identity. Good luck, good punning, and I'll catch you at the track on Saturday.
Rocky Turf Talk is proudly brought to you by Cocobrew.